Today is February 16, 2026. I am completely new to live streaming and everything else. My name is Leah Christina. My nickname is Lefty because I'm a left-hander. I'm just gonna randomly talk about different things that come to mind. Um, I am a single parent to 3 young adults. My oldest has asked me to keep most of his life private, keep a lot of what is going on with him private, but I am going to brag a wee bit that he is a talented artist, and I'm so proud of that. The art he does is anime form. It's both sketching on paper, colorizing it and everything on paper, and he also does digitally on his phone with some app that I don't know about, but it just blows me away with how talented he is. Out of respect, I don't know if he would permit me to put his picture up or anything like that, so I may, if I do, it will more than likely be pretty much blurred, so I can respect my child's wishes. My second child, her name is Balana Amethyst. We don't go really by our last name because that's my ex-husband's name, and that's a story that I may or may not go into, but it has been, well, I'd rather go to hell than deal with him. Sorry, he is not a decent person. Um, Anyway, my middle literally changed her name from her birth name to Balana, and that's perfectly fine. I changed my name when I was a teenager. My kids changed their name. That's perfectly fine. It's their choice to become who they want to become, and I will completely respect that. Even though I was the one who gave them the names, and I absolutely love the names that I gave them, but I changed my name when I was 16, so I can't get irritated or mad or anything because I know what it's like. When you're changing your name, it's giving you a sense of self, making it so that your past isn't something that you're living in or dwelling in. So I know my past is pretty horrific, and I guess it made it so that I can live the life I'm living now. But my middle is an artist as well, and she opened or started her own art studio where she carries her art to being in front of a grocery store and tries to sell it there. She's got the work ethics of my family, and it's amazing. She just got up and go, started the business, was out there selling, bringing in some income because my ex, he's crappy about, pathetic pity money because I can't get a court order ordering him to give me child support. Long story there. But, my lawyer says it's pity money. Whatever money he gives me is just pure pity. And if he gives me something, it's because I've been a good girl that month instead of speaking about the hell that he put me through. So I only get pity money if I'm a good girl, behaving him. And that's hell. Anyway, what he did forfeited his rights to be a parent, forfeited his rights to be a husband, forfeited his rights to know anything about my personal life, forfeited his rights to know about my finances, forfeited everything. Absolutely everything. And I guess I'm talking about him a smidge, but I don't really want to. Back to my daughter. My daughter feels that the money that she's making is basically her stepping in and taking the place as the income provider that he was supposed to be if he was a decent person. But she's doing this because she wants the best for her baby sister. Now, maybe I should go into her baby sister. Her baby sister is not a baby anymore. Next month, she will be 18. Wow. I don't have any babies anymore, do I? But she's the youngest, so we call her the baby. Even though she's not baby. Well, she's a baby, but she's not a baby. She is going to be 18 next month. She has Craniorhinio syndrome, which is on the 7th chromosome, 36.3. That specific gene is deleted from one of the pairs of the 7th chromosome. So that's quite unique. It comes with horseshoe kidneys or cross-diffused and ectopic kidneys or whatever, mal-shaped kidneys. It comes with sometimes an ectopic anus or undescended genitalia. It comes with short-statured, failure to thrive, global developmental delay. It comes with a lot of medical issues. However, that's not the only syndrome she has, because that was the syndrome that I passed down to her without knowing I had it. So I discovered after she was born that I have the horseshoe kidneys, or the horseshoe kidneys. I have that, and I discovered that I have the same ectopic anus, and that explains a heck of a lot. I've had UTIs and ear infections my entire life, so that goes into a lot of things, and I've been trying to research which side of the family it comes from, and I've had hints here and there on different things, like my mom used to speak of my grandpa saying you should wear a long jacket to defend your kidneys, which is a clue that he may have known about the kidney problems in the family. But, with him being Native American, I don't know if it's, just whatever. But, anyway, back to my youngest. By the way, I didn't tell you, her name is Ariel Sapphire. Yes, I'm talking about you, princess. Her name is Ariel Sapphire, and she's going to be 18 next month. She is in stage 4 kidney failure, but not only does she have the Craniorhinio syndrome, she also has chromosome 13 ring syndrome, which means one of her 13th chromosomes, the end broke off of it, and it formed into a circle, making it a ring. The smaller the ring, the more genes deleted. The bigger the ring, the less genes deleted. And she has a very large ring, so that's good because that means there's less genes deleted from her 13th chromosome. So that's really good. But the doctors told me that they're not used to only one side of the chromosome breaking off DNA. They're used to both sides, but hers only one side broke off, which was a unique thing. And of course, it formed into a ring. So I joke that my children didn't want to share anything, including their syndromes. Just like normal kids don't share anything. So she didn't want to share. She didn't get the DiGeorge syndrome. And when she got the craniorhinio from me, she's like, nope, I'm not sharing, and decided to add the 13 ring on top of it. So, Balana's DiGeorge syndrome taught me about syndromes, prepared me for Ariel's unique syndromes. Yeah, she is one in like 200,000 with how, well, even more with how extremely rare this is. I mean, it's extremely rare. But I have been learning a heck of a lot. Got myself a. I don't have any official medical degrees, but being a single special needs mom, learning about all the special needs that your children have gives you a hands-on medical degree. So with all the nursing that I do, with all the caregiving that I do, I definitely could be a official in-home house or in-home healthcare aide or something, maybe more, because I've literally told the doctors about the syndromes, and many have never heard of them before, which is normal. I mean, there are millions of syndromes and combinations of deletions out there, so it makes sense that they've never heard of all of this stuff. But I was looking through Ariel's medical record just the other day, and it shocked me that in her medical record, she's considered a dwarf. That just blew me away. And of course, the little one, she's tiny, so I guess it makes sense that they would consider that. I didn't expect it. So I can actually call my short stuff a short stuff and have it apply. And everything that I say is done in love, said in pure joy and fun. Honestly, with being special needs family, you have to have a sense of humor to get through what you're going through, or you could just go insane. You gotta be able to laugh about it. You can't just walk around with a chip on your shoulder and explode every few minutes, because it's a lot to take. And I mean, I could have a fun, quick wit disagreement with my daughters, and we could be looking like we're angry and fuming at each other. And after the last sarcastic statement has been said, we will just look at each other, deep in each other's eyes with this growling expression, and start laughing our heads off, because that's who we are. That's who we are. And it's fun. It makes it more enjoyable. And you're not walking on eggs anymore, because I was walking on severe eggs as a child with the hell I went through. And I was walking on severe eggs with my ex-husband. I mean, when I finally get into that, you're going to be absolutely livid if you have a heart, if you're compassionate, if you have empathy, even sympathy. You would be livid for what he did. You would be livid for the stunts that he pulled, and you would be livid for absolutely all of it. I mean, bluntly speaking, my brother, my brother, who I have nothing but sheer love for. And there's a lot going on with him because of my father. He is mentally ill. But my brother, I guess could say his name, Timmy. My brother Timmy, even in his delusional state, wants to do nothing but protect his baby sister because I'm the baby of the family. I'm the youngest. I have 5 siblings, one who died of SIDS, but I have 5 siblings and I'm the youngest of them. Sorry, I didn't mean to upset you with that. But it's true, I'm the youngest. There's Timothy, and then there's J, and then D, M, then me. Oh, I didn't talk about my oldest brother, T. Yeah, that's 2 T's, Tim and Tommy, I guess, because Tommy is passed. I could say Tommy. But Timothy is a protector. He wants to provide and be an alpha man, even in his mental state. Even when he's having his delusions, he wants to be a protector. And it's really sad how his delusions have gotten to the point where they're telling him to self-harm and erase himself from this earth. And it's excruciatingly painful that his delusions are now telling him to remove himself from the earth. And I'm just glad that my sister Dee and I can be there for him, and that my children love him and are there for him as well. But the delusions can be insanely overwhelming, especially when you have special needs children that you're trying to keep alive, and you hear about the delusions causing him to self-harm. And, well, let's just put it where it's at. This next Saturday, I think it is, the 21st. It's either Saturday or Sunday. But the 21st, yeah, Saturday, is my brother's 61st birthday. And usually around his birthday is when he gets the most delusions about self-harm, because even though he has saved my life plenty of times, he has saved my sister Dee's life plenty of times, he has been a wonderful uncle, he has wanted to come to where I am living and enlist in the military so that he could defend us from what was going on here. His self-harm gets even thicker and thicker near his birthday time, because he, with his mental illness, feels like he's a leech and a drain on society, even though he's not. He's been there for us. He's been a wonderful brother. He's been a wonderful uncle. I just wish that he could see through our eyes and realize how much he means to us. And we tell him on a regular basis how much he means to us. But the love that he has for his younger sisters is the kind of love that I wished I could get from my dad, and I wished I could get from my ex-husband, but not gonna ever happen, even with having a sort of, could never call it, dating, or never call it a relationship or anything, because my ex male friend that I would go do things with, he is got an avoidant personality, and he refused to admit that we were ever in any form of relationship. It was a sign of weakness to talk about feelings or anything like that. And it was okay for him to hint at, where we were going. But the minute I would even, bring it up, no, I'm just a friend of the family, uncle to your children kind of bullshit crapola, and pushed me away so insanely. And it's a lot going on there too. I've eventually, after thinking about it, because I'm the kind of person who will sit and think about, what's gone on. I will sit and think about things that have happened that day. I will, just run it through my head over and over and over again, like I'm playing a video of it. I mean, I've got a vivid memory, and I could, sit there and see what's gone on in my life, and rewind and play it, and I will analyze it to the very last extreme detail. I guess that's what a Sagittarius is do. I will analyze it to the very last detail. And you may hear me, bring it up months later and comment on it, because I'm very slow at coming back with comments, or, being on the spot. My mind just goes completely blank, and it's completely wiped clean. That's why I can't learn a foreign language, because when you're speaking it to me and I'm expected to respond, my mind is wiped clean. That's part of my disabilities for having the cranioradial syndrome, is my mind is completely wiped clean. I cannot, answer like that. I mean, when I was in high school, I had to have, you know, extra time on tests, because they called it testophobia or something like that, which I never quite grasped. I knew the answers, like when I was doing my driver's ed. My mom's been a professional driver my entire life, behind the wheel, understanding things. I mean, I learned how to drive on a ride-em lawnmower, because we had half acre, and I would be out mowing it, come home, dizzy and sick because I'm highly allergic to grass, lovely. But I would be out mowing, learning how to drive, and come back with massive allergies and asthma attack and all of that wonderful crapola. But that's how I learned how to drive. I mean, and so my mom's been a professional driver my entire life. She had no more patience for when I finally started learning how to drive, because I'm the baby of the family. She used to be a driver's ed teacher. Then she did the commuter bus TriMet in Oregon, Portland, Oregon. And then she retired driving the Max in Portland, Oregon. So, that was 19 years of driving for TriMet and the Max. And then before that, she drove for the church. She drove, by the way, I am not Christian. I believe in the Heavenly Father. I don't know if I'm going to go into religion, because I don't want to deal with all of that. But I mentioned that she drove for the church. That's why I wanted to clarify I'm not Christian, because that's her religion, not mine. She toxic religious, so I had to walk away. I just couldn't. But anyway, before she drove for that, she drove Albertina Care Center for severely disabled teenagers in Oregon. She drove them all around severely disabled. I think I was supposed to be around disabled so that I can learn more about my kids. But around severely disabled my entire life. I mean, been with people in wheelchairs my entire life, know how to deal with them, taking care of people my entire life. So it's something that just didn't phase me, and always been a tough pro-life kind of person. Um, yes, pro-life, but also pro-death penalty due to my other brother, Jay, because when I was 7, he started sexually abusing me for 3 years, so 7 to 10. And when I finally spoke about it, I was the one in the wrong. I was the one who shamed the family. I was the embarrassment, and I got shunned through the church. That's why I'm not Christian. I got, the punishment. I was the one in the wrong, and my mother was, I don't know what's wrong with her, but literally, my room was right across the hall from my mom. I mean, not even 3 feet away from my mom's room. How could she not know my brother was sexually abusing me? She had to, and just didn't give a damn. Anyway. Yeah, I know, baby. I know. And anyway, it's because of my brother that I am pro death penalty. Because if my brother Jay had been, taken care of, then all the girls that he raped in Gladstone would have never been raped. Because he was in track and field, he used the fact that he was a kick-ass runner to run away before the cops got him. So he did a crap load of rapes in Gladstone. And then the 3 strikes you're outlaw in California got his ass thrown in prison there. And, came back to Oregon. And, before he went to California, my mom actually had him living on our property so that he didn't have to register as a sex offender. She used that so he wouldn't have to register because it's such an embarrassment to the family. And, ugh. So I had to live with my sex abusing brother, and it got worse from there. He made my sister a prostitute for a bit, and he tried to make me a prostitute, which I wanted nothing to do with, and I couldn't. I just thought of that. Not me. Never. Not me. Couldn't. Ugh. And anyway, oh wow, I'm going into a crap load of detail. I mean, I know I had my autobiography, which I'm gonna probably post my autobiography in the comments, but yeah, I've been through a lot. I've been through a heck of a lot. I know I'm just randomly going off on different thoughts, and that's the way my brain works. I randomly go off on different thoughts here and randomly go off on different thoughts there. So, anyway, back on track. My mom was a really good driver. I learned how to drive there. So, definitely a extremely good driver. Um, Self-defense and everything else for that matter. When I had a handicapped vehicle for my daughter. Oh, I didn't tell you that my daughter is in a wheelchair with a feeding tube. And well, she's in stage 4 kidney failure. But I had a handicap van that I would load her wheelchair up in and drove about, because that's how I got her to and from appointments in the handicap van until I moved where we're at. Just completely lost my train of thought. See? Right there. Totally lost my train of thought because I have so much going on and an insane amount going through my head, and I'm just going to use you guys as my clear the head kind of blog, because special needs mother does need to vent and clear her head and get things out and talk about day-to-day stresses. I don't know. I'm just randomly just talking. I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a single soul who will listen to any of this. So I'm just talking to the abyss. Hi, Abyss. Oh, are you listening to Mama talk? Would you like to be? Yes. Okay, you are. Would you like me to show you? Would you like to come say hi to everybody? Put you on screen? Let's see if I can. Put you on screen. This is my Ariel. Stage 4 kidney failure. Feeding tube fed. Got a lot going on there. She's in a wheelchair. Well, she's laying in bed right now, but she has a wheelchair to get around by because she's not able to walk or anything. Short-statured, failure to thrive. We shouldn't really want her to walk because she has dislocated instability in C1, C2, C3, C4, C6, C7, which means that the spinal cord right here has the top one, C1, C2, they're fused together. C3, C4 fused together, and then C6, C7 are fused together. So it's an unstable spinal cord. So if she were to fall or have a serious accident, she could become paralyzed from that point on down. So we got to be very careful with her, and that's one of the reasons why she's in a wheelchair. Just one of the small reasons, but Miss Ariel is globally developmentally delayed, and I mean severely. Her sister Milana and I are the only two that know what she's saying and can understand her. And she's got delayed response. So you can ask her something and it will take her a very long time to respond. And most of the time, people are walking away by the time she responds. So she gets that from me because my mind goes blank too and I can't respond on the spot as well. So are we done showing you? Huh, Precious? Are we done? Oh, how about showing off your beautiful earrings that I got you? Aren't those pretty? Yeah, we got those at the used store. Yeah. They were only $100 at the used store. Oh, I didn't even... Yeah. Those were only $100 at the used store. So that's pretty cool. Hey, you. Are you able to say anything? Are you able to say anything? Sitting there grinding your teeth like you always do? Airy Berry, are you going to speak? No. You eventually want me to upload the silly songs that I used to sing to, well, I sing to you, but turned into AI songs eventually? Want me to upload those one or day or no? Somewhere? Mommy's just babbling on. Trying to keep the conversation going, babbling on. I could also upload my poetry. Turn those into songs as well. My childhood poetry. This is really ridiculous and corny. I wanted to turn my last song into a poem because, not my last poem into a song because it was really venting what I was going through with my ex. It's about him, but the problem is, my venting about the hell that he put me through was flagged inappropriate by AI. It's okay for them to put you through it, but you're not allowed to vent it out and get the hurt that you lived out, describing the traumatic abuse that you went through. You're not allowed to because AI flagged you that it's inappropriate, which is really sad. That I think that's disgusting. They could put you through severe hell. Severe. That's a word, severe. They could put you through severe hell. They could put you through severe hell and get away with it. But you speak about it and you're the one in the wrong. Massive gaslighting. Must have been a narcissist who put the AIs together. Right, baby? Anyway, my mind went blank. I don't know where I'm at. Might end up trying to show you some of my days every now and then. I start out with 1 o'clock in the morning. We do a urine catheterization on Ariel so that she can pee and not have pressure on her kidneys or have, hydronephrolysis where the urine shoots back up the ureter into the kidneys, because that was happening quite a bit with her. She had chronic E. coli UTIs, which she was on a prophylactic, which is a low stream antibiotic to keep the infection from setting in. But sadly, her particular bug of E. coli has developed a resistance to the 2 prophylactic and strong antibiotics that she was on for it, Deceptol and Respirine. Deceptol is Respirine, just the generic brand for it, and then the Zenot she also built a resistance to. So the last and final antibiotic that she has is Augmentin that she can use, which it blew me away that they upped her Augmentin dose a good 6 milliliters since her last UTI. It just blew me away, but it makes perfect sense because her kidneys aren't doing their job. They're not filtering things out. So her bug had kind of like spread through the body. And her sister, who has tiny fingers, I don't, her sister was literally pulling gigantic green and brown boogers out of Aries' nose. And they were really, really bad. So green and brown usually implies an infection. So Aries' infection must have spread and they had to knock it out. So it makes perfect sense. They had to knock it out with such a huge, huge dose. And now Ariel's feeling a heck of a lot better. She's not throwing up. She's not got a fever. She's not wanting to remain in bed all day. We're in bedroom, yes. because, well, I hate mornings. I've never been a morning person. I am a massive night owl. I don't get my energy until late at night. And so don't expect me to get up before 10 in the morning unless I have a doctor's appointment or some kind of appointment to go to, because I hate mornings. Do you think that's funny that Mama hates mornings? Yeah. I like going to bed late at night. I like staying at 1, 2, 3 in the morning. It's just who I am. Yeah. I have it set so that I can spread it out a little bit more. We're supposed to catheter Ariel every 3 hours, but the insurance company only gives us 5 catheters a day. So I have tried to spread it out as much as possible. So it's like 108, the catheter alarm goes off. 5:18, the catheter alarm goes off. 9:28, the catheter alarm goes off. 1:38, the catheter alarm goes off, and we'll either skip the next one or the following one because we don't have enough catheters. But so 1:38, and then 5:48, and then 7:58. And like I said, we'll like be flexible on that because, well, we don't have enough catheters. Freaking insurance company doesn't care what the doctor says. They will not give us more than 5 a day. And if you're wondering about staying catheters, well, the staying catheters can get full of poopies if she poops. And then if it moves, it could be pushing the poop inside her urethra and cause it to go into her bladder and then go up the ureters into her kidneys from the hydronephrosis, where the urine shoots back up into the kidneys, which is really something else, because when she was a baby, she had ureter reimplantation surgery because her ureters were at the bottom of the bladder and they stuck them in the top. They were at the bottom of the bladder. They stuck them in the top and crossed them over so that they're on the opposite side. And one of them has a kink in it, like you've got a kink in a hose, or a kink, you've bent a straw and nothing gets through. It has a kink in it, so you have to, move her around when you're cathetering her to get the kink to move so that you could get the urine out of the kidneys. That's another reason why the kidney failure. But when I'm hoping that when we have the kidney donor and the kidney transplant, I am hoping that, well, I know the doctors are going to fix the ureter so that it's not kinked anymore. I don't understand why, or, why the doctor that did the original surgery didn't contemplate a kink, or didn't have that in mind, or didn't realize he kinked the ureter. But there's a kink in it, so it makes sense. Catheter alarm is going off. 1:38. Yeah, something like that. What? Anyway. I will be doing that shortly. But yeah, there's a kink in it. So she's my kinky girl. Are you a kinky girl? But yeah, so I do 5 urine catheters on Ariel a day. I also do an enema because the nephrologist does not want her boobs putting any pressure on her kidneys in any way. So I do an enema on a daily basis to help keep her cleaned out. She also has asthma, so I do the nebulizer, the asthma inhalers, and asthma physical therapy, or what I call asthma treatments. The asthma physical therapy on her to help her because, well, asthma is insanely thick in my family. My brother Jay, my sister Debbie, Debbie, yeah, I think I can talk about her. My sister Debbie, my son, my daughter Balana, my daughter Ariel, myself, my grandpa on my mom's side of the family, Grandpa Brown, my mom, I know my uncle had it, and it's insanely thick in the family. Insanely thick. And it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm obese that I have it. It's because my mom gave it to me. I have really bad asthma when I have a allergen trigger it. I don't have exercise asthma. That's not an issue. I have insanely bad allergies. I'm allergic to grasses. I'm allergic to mold. Oh boy, you don't want to see me have a mold reaction. I mean, it's horrendous to have a mold reaction for me. I am a mold detector, big time. I am also allergic to soy, pretty dang bad. But that doesn't give me an asthma reaction, which is, well, no, actually, I'll have to take that back because my oldest had a soy candle and we never put 2 and 2 together that I was reacting to the soy candle when he lit it up in his room before he moved back home. But we were at the mall and my oldest was like, "Mom, come here, I want you to smell these candles." And I walked up and I smelled the candle and then got really lightheaded and dizzy, disoriented, and almost fainted. So I guess, yeah, it affects me that bad too. But usually I just have um, massive pain throughout the digestive system, from the stomach to the intestine, and blood, bad blood in my poop, really bad. And even when I'm swallowing it, I can feel massive burning in my esophagus area. So don't want me around soy. It gets really bad for me, and the entire time it's in my body, I'm just miserable. And when it comes out in diarrhea with a lot of blood. So not good for me. Oh, you really wanted to know my really bad reactions to those things, but yeah, grasses, soy, mold. I am allergic to some medications. There was one that no matter what, the doctors back home did not want to admit that Ariel and I had a reaction to it. They didn't want to admit it because they wanted the kickback money. That's what they wanted. They wanted the kickback money. And no matter what, they prescribed it for us, and we always had severe reactions, and they didn't want to admit it. And one of them even gave Ariel a medicine to stop her from throwing it up because she would violently throw it up. And they were like, no, it's not that. When she threw it up, she got, if I didn't get it cleaned off her skin immediately, her skin would rash out to the point of bleeding, and they blamed me for it staying on her skin and said that I caused it with the stomach acid from the throw up. But honestly, I didn't see much stomach acid when she threw it up, and it was a lot of times this would happen. They just did not want to admit that we are allergic to this medication. They wanted the kickback, they wanted to prescribe it, and it was unacceptable. I got to the point where I fought it. And then when we moved here, I just flat out put it on the medical records here, and I refused to allow it to be prescribed, and that's that. I'm done with that bull. Sick of these damn kickbacks that they get from prescribing medications that are unsafe for you. Anyway, I can continue on, but I'm going on probably, 52 minutes now, so I probably should let this be my vlog for the day. I might start, getting up, and when I do the catheters during the day, I might log on to show you guys when I'm working with Airy Bear. Oh yeah, she gets, physical therapy from me at home. She has a beautiful swing that she enjoys going in. We have her soak her feet in a foot bath with herbs to try and get rid of some of the toxins in her body. You're welcome. Oh, you got a beautiful smile. I love that smile of yours. Yeah. Going through a lot. Oh, her nephrologist. We had one nephrologist that has been exchanged for another, the head of the nephrology department at the hospital. Well, the first nephrologist, she was awful. I call her Dr. Doom and Gloom because it was like she got off on telling parents that their child's gonna die. She'd see a smile on your face and she'd give you a time limit from when your child is supposed to die. She'd, see a smile on your face and she's like, she's in this much kidney failure, and like the smile would completely fade and she'd get this little nasty smirk on her face of, haha, I just, removed all hope from the parents' eyes. But she seriously had me believing that Ariel was going to die within a few months because of her, getting off on telling parents that their children's going to die. And it was just horrific. She had me walking on, these eggs for about 2-ish, maybe a little bit more than 2-ish years. She was horrendous. Couldn't stand her, and I'm thankful that she left. And anyway, the new nephrologist, this last day clinic, I was there. We were there from, we were an hour late because of the bus system and stuff, but we were there from 9 until a little bit past 4, and Ari was getting checked out and everything was going on because she had just gotten over another E. coli UTI, and we'd been there. I was hearing from some doctors, not so good news, and from then the nephrologist, her new nephrologist, the head of the nephrology department came in and sat down and talked with me for probably about 15 minutes, and it was really amazing. He had really positive things to say. I've not been able to get Ari on dialysis because they said that she wouldn't sit through it and she didn't qualify. The Dr. Gloom and Gloom made it, very clear. Ariel could not go on dialysis, and if you're not on dialysis, you cannot get on the kidney transplant list. And tried finding a kidney donor on my own and everything. But anyway, Dr. Doom and Gloom was very adamant about all of this and stuff. And so I'm talking to the new doctor, and he is like telling me how she is responding really, really well to the medications, and that how there are 2 options of kidney dialysis that, are a possibility. And I'm like thinking to myself, well, Dr. Doom and Gloom said that she can't. She'd fight it and everything. But, he was talking about one at home, which I've seen a couple videos on YouTube and I've tried to understand it, pay attention, but the one at home is a portal implanted into the abdomen, and somehow liquids are put in for the day and then they're taken out for the night or something. And portals, she has a Mickey button feeding tube in her stomach. So, no problem. Used to that stuff. No biggies. And, I do all her medical care at home. So, doesn't faze me one bit about doing this. Why didn't Dr. Doom and Gloom bring it up? He also spoke about I could go and take her to the hospital 3 times a week, and she could get dialysis there, which Dr. Doom and Gloom had made very clear that she couldn't because she would fight it and rip the needle out, and that it would be something that's not even an option because she'd have to be able to withstand the blood pressure cup, taking her blood pressure several times during that, and that it would be a huge fight. She wouldn't qualify. It would not happen. And, that's why we have to do all of this work at home. And anyway, the good nephrologist was giving me these options. And, I'm going to sit down and talk with Balana about these options and stuff, which that dialysis at home, I think Ari will respond really well to because she's used to Sissy and I working with her. She's used to Sissy and I doing all the medical treatment at home, and she responds pretty darn well with us. It's always pretty good results. She responds with us, so I don't think doing the dialysis at home would be a problem. I think that could be knocked out really, really, really good with her. And so the new nephrologist was telling me about these options, and then he said something that was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life. And I've heard some really evil things, but this was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard, and it really touched my heart, and it was the sweetest thing, and I absolutely love it, and I'm so grateful I get to share it after I've shared it with my family. And yes, it does bring me to tears that this was said, and it, like I said, most beautiful thing I have ever heard. And I'm rewinding it and living this in my head over and over again because it just warms my heart so much. And then he said to me, I can't give you 120, but no. He said I can't promise 120, but I can give you a decade. Meaning he can't promise us 120 years. But he can, keep her alive for a decade. A decade! And that is so beautiful that he said a decade. Because Dr. Doom and Gloom had me believing that she was going to pass away within the next few months. And I didn't need that with all I was going through. But this doctor, when he said that, that was the most beautiful thing in the world because I know my daughter, she's going to live with all the good medical care for a decade. And that gives me hope because who knows what medical miracles will occur within that decade. Maybe we could get more after that. But that gives me really a lot of hope, and that's something that I seriously needed. Having the doctor tell me that, it was so beautiful. And know what else is beautiful is I was able to tell this news to Timothy before his birthday, which is this Saturday. And I'm hoping that that little bit of hope will keep him from trying to self-harm. Because one of his things is he wanted to give Ari a kidney, but with his mental illness, he can't. So I'm glad that I gave him a little spark of beautiful news to brighten his day, like a really sweet birthday present for him because I know how much he loves her to pieces, but not as much as her mom. Not as much as me. Because nobody loves you as much as I do, except for God. And, fighting debate on who loves more. I love you to pieces, and I needed that little bit of hope because it's telling me everything that we're going through is working, and it's worth it. It's worth the sleepless nights. It's worth it because this little fight is keeping her here, and that's what we need. This little fight keeps us alive, keeps her alive, and everything that I've gone through, all of the hell that I've been put through. And here I've got this beautiful child that is gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay because no parent should ever outlive their child. And I know that she's got a fighting chance. And I've needed to treat her that she has a fighting chance because I needed something positive. Everything I'm going through, I needed something positive. I needed it. Oh, you giving mommy lovins? Yeah? Making mama feel better? She's grabbed my foot and is, giving me love. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I love you too, precious. I love you too. Oh, Ariel has a Twitter page. Facebook shut down her prayer page, shut down her Facebook page, and shut down my main Facebook page because trying to find a kidney donor for a special needs young adult is apparently child exploitation, and I went against community standards because I was trying to save my daughter's life. That's what Facebook did. They suspended my account, removed her prayer page, and removed her page, which I had been, sharing videos and pictures of her with family back home because, they need to be able to see her and know she's still around. But Facebook deemed all of that child exploitation and against community standards and just suspended the accounts. Just suspended it. And when I questioned, they just gone. Just gone. None of it's my fault. I mean, just gone. They saw me identify myself with my passport, and they instead of my name, they put my nickname down after I identified myself with my passport. So instead of it being, Leah, it was Lefty, and then my last name. And then, of course, I had to re-identify myself with all of this because, the first one was about politics because I have very strong political views and I was sharing things, and Facebook, deemed that, questionable and made me identify myself because I was sharing politics. And then changed my name to Lefty and my last name. And then when my passport, same exact one that identified myself the first time round, didn't have the same name as they're using my nickname. There's like, it's against community standards. You did child exploitation. We're suspending your account. You don't have the right to file an appeal. You don't have any rights. And all of this is wiped away because you're against community standards instead of actually having a human being look at the ID the first time and say, no, it's Leah, not Lefty. And then the second time, no, this is not child exploitation. It is a child in desperately need of a kidney, and she's not doing anything wrong by sharing this, especially since the child's almost 18. So this is all the bullcrap that Facebook has put me through, and I have lost a ton of pictures of my child because of this garbage that Facebook has put me through. And I wish I knew how to get my account out of suspension because I would love to access all of that stuff and get it back. But, this is the abuse that you get for being, I'm going to bluntly speaking, I'm a conservative. I was sharing a lot of pro-President Trump stuff. I was sharing a lot of Graham Allen and Dear America. And they flagged me the first time. I had to identify myself with my passport. They saw, they screwed it up with the Lefty and then my last name. And then this time they flagged me for child exploitation because I am fighting to save my daughter's life. And the one that they chose mostly, I was sharing a bunch of pictures, about 13 pictures, with the same thing written in 13 different languages because I live in an Arab part of town. I've got a lot of Arabs around. I mean, massive migration, many different countries and stuff. So I carry a sign around with a picture of my daughter and the same thing written over and over and over and over again. And the one that was written in Arab with my daughter sitting next to her sister in a hospital bed had Arabic written, same thing. They flagged that as child exploitation. They flagged that. I'm serious. They flagged that one as child exploitation because I shared it in Arabic. Let me see if I could get the sign. It's like reachable, but my phone is plugged in, so I don't know. You're laughing at this. You think it's funny. I gotta get past your bed to get over to your wheelchair. Plugged in, so I don't know if my phone will reach. Did you just tell me to get my lazy ass out of bed? That's not a nice thing to say. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. So, let me go through these pictures really quick to show you what Facebook flagged as child exploitation. Okay. Okay. So, have Hebrew, have Russian, I have I think that's Portuguese. Arabic, flagged as child exploitation. Arabic. Yeah, you see, she's sitting in a hospital room on a hospital gurney with her sister. How is this child exploitation? How? Because of the Arabic. That's what they flagged it. Child exploitation. Facebook. Okay. Next language. I think this is Spanish. I think this is Spanish. This one's Spanish. This one, I believe, is French. I may have my French, Portuguese, and Spanish mixed up, but this is one. And then another language I'm not sure of. That one's hard to see. Let's get it under the light. Okay. Next, I think this is Filipino. And as I said, they all say the same exact thing. This is either Chinese or Korean. This one is Yiddish. And then this one is either Chinese or Korean. I don't know the difference between the two languages. I'm sorry. Chinese or Korean. And then this one, I believe, is Aramaic. Where was the one in English? There was one in English that I went past. English. Where is the English? Where is the English? Ari, did you eat the English? Okay. Now, what they all say in their different languages. I know it's backwards, but what they all say in their different language is commandment opportunity. Save my daughter's life. Donate a kidney to her. Ariel Sapphire, daughter of Leah Christina. A positive, A negative, O positive, O negative. And then it has my phone number. It has Balana's phone number with the word Ibrit underneath it. The one that got flagged was the one that was in Arabic. It was deemed child exploitation and against community standards. But the one in Arabic, as I said, she's sitting in a hospital bed next to her sister, showing that she's in the hospital. Facebook, how is this child exploitation? Asking for a kidney donor for a 17-year-old young adult. Why did you suspend my account over this picture? Don't want to answer me? Just want to suspend me. That's on you. That's why my daughter's new prayer page is on X, and it's Ariel Sapphire, literally at Ariel Sapphire. And Ariel is spelled ARAYL, and then Sapphire, SAPPHIRE. Ariel Sapphire, the at Ariel Sapphire. Follow her prayer page. Follow her page on X. Yeah, follow her. Make her feel special. Because Facebook shut down her prayer page. Facebook shut down her page for sharing with family and friends back home. Why? Because of Arabic asking for a kidney donor. I feel like saying F suck. Anyway. Simple little pretty face. Hey. Hey you. Hey you. Hi. Hi. You give a smile. Hi. She said the cutest thing the other day. She said, "Give me your kidney," to a guy who was buying art from her sister. And it was cute. It was so cute. But anyway, can you blow? She plays with plastic bags and plastic bags only. Can you blow kisses? Blow kisses? Blow kisses? Say, bye-bye, Mommy's viewers. Bye-bye. We'll leave it at that.